All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Rakakwadash. Giving double honor to the apostles and elders of great millstone. Shalom to the hopefully elect. Shalom to all the brothers out here laboring in this truth with sincerity. Shalom to the few sisters that watch. Coming back with another lesson. Just going into this devil, with a lot going on right now, due to him. When I say him, I mean Esau Edom, so-called white man, the wicked elites. You have Israel now bombing Iran. These Edomites, man, are out of control, man. And their rulership is almost over, and they know it. So that's why, they're doing the things that they're doing, man. This devil is stirring things up, and which we love. We love to see this, man. I was in the midst of some Edomites today, speaking so proudly of America, Babylon the Great, and speaking of they don't think the things that's happening overseas will ever come to the shores of America. America is so bad. They hadn't even displayed the real weapons they have. But this is how proud this devil is. They have the audacity to say, other races of people. Speaking of the northern tribes, they now 500,000 so-called illegals or immigrants have to leave, and all of them are from the northern tribe, man. With the exception of Levi, Haiti. So you have Haiti, you have Venezuela, you have Cuba, and it was another one. But the point of the matter is, these are the parts of the northern kingdom, man. Parts of the 12 tribes of Israel. So, this devil has an all-out war against the Israelites. What about the Chinese? What about the East Indians? What about damn. But all these foreigners, man, they have no problem with them, but they have it all in for the children of Israel. And then, you want to ban Haiti, but you have Dominican Republic on the same landmass, but you haven't told them to leave. But anyway, that's enough for the rambling, man. We just gonna get into this devil, man. You still have so many Jakes or Israelites, so-called Negroes, that's caping for this man. And want to see this man in the kingdom beside him after they've committed all this wickedness upon the earth. Murder, rape, robbery, all this, man. They still want this man to be a part of what's to come. So this is an article from the Huffington Post. It says, HuffPost. It says, disgusting. Lindsey Graham called out over ugly, evil message on social media. The South Carolina senator's message struck many as cheerleading for war. But the thing about it, this devil cannot go against how he was created. How Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai created this devil to feel this way. He was blessed with the sword. So let's see. It says Senator Lindsey Graham seemed just a little too eager for war as Israel launched airstrikes early Friday. It says, game on, he wrote on X. Pray for Israel. So these Edomites are going to stick together, even though they're committing genocide upon the Pakistanis, which that's, hey man, we can care less. But, it's obvious what they're doing. But it says Israel said its strike targeted Iran's nuclear program, including scientists working on atomic weapons as well as military leaders and missile facilities. But, what gives them the right to do this, man? Why can't the Iranians have nuclear weapons, man? Like, this devil wants to police the whole earth, man. If it's not Babylon. And Salakia, the call came in, man. So Salakia for that. But it says Iran launched drones at Israel in retaliation. Graham also delivered a warning to Iran not to attack U.S. personnel or interests in the region. If they do, he wrote, America should have an overwhelming response, destroying all of Iran's oil refineries and oil infrastructures, putting the Ayatollah and his henchmen out of the oil business. So this devil is just wicked, man. So let's get scriptures. Let's get a couple scriptures and just show you, not brothers, of course not, but somebody new just so happened to see this video. We just bringing it out, man, showing you the characteristics of this devil. It says, for the thief cometh not, but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. And isn't that what this devil just said? The thief cometh not, but for to steal and kill and to destroy. So that's the nature of this devil, the nature of the beast. Continue on. We'll go to the book of Psalms. Lord willing, is edifying. We'll go to Psalm chapter 55 and verse 21. It says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. So, you see these devils talking on TV about, how they woo these nations. You got Trump trying to make a deal with Iran, all this, man. But war is really in that devil's heart, man, at the end of the day. It says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. So this devil was blessed with sword. And this is all he know. Had the Edomites at my job, saying they were ready for it to kick off, not knowing what's going to come, man. It's going to be utter destruction during World War III, So, your little weapons are not going to save you in that day, Your little weapons, if Yahweh Shem Yahushua is not with you, which he's not, your weapons are not going to save you in Jacob's trouble, when all hell is breaking loose. You may have 100 guns, but you can't shoot but one at a time, man. These devils just could not understand the concept of nations joining together to come up against America. They just could not grasp it, That's just the pride of this devil, man. That's just the pride of this devil. So let's see. We'll go to the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12 and verse 16. It says, the enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. That's this devil, man. The same way he did the Native Americans, came sweet, came so-called loving, but soon as they saw opportunity, they took it. They took it, man. Kidnapped, put them into slavery, came back, raped their women, killed their children. Gad helped them cultivate the land, helped them live off the land. But what did this devil do, man? Turn around and give them blankets with smallpox. Everywhere this devil go, he brings death, diseases, all that, man. Let's see. It says, if adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. Why? Because he the one that brought it, man. He's the one that put Jake in the ghettos. He's the one that introduced crack, heroin, all this. Everything that destroys the Israelites, this devil comes up with it. It says, and though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. Man, why can't Jake understand this, man? You know, why can't Jake get it? You know, you still want to be a part of this place, even though this devil has constantly stabbed you in the back, constantly undermined you. That's what the scripture just said. So he will shake his head. He will shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much and change his countenance. Cannot trust this devil, man. You know, but what does a so-called black man do? So-called Israelite man and woman, first and foremost. You know, they put all their trust in this devil, man. All right, shalom, Salakia. Had to take a break. Not by choice. But I'm back, Salakia. But we have an article from CNN News. It says Iran retaliates against Israel with missile barrage. So this is happening now. It says Iran and Israel exchange strikes. Iran fired hundreds of ballistic missiles towards Israel, according to state media. And I just saw news where the United States are helping them, destroy these missiles or divert them or, whatever. So it says Trump's warning. President Donald Trump told CNN that the U.S., of course, supports Israel and its actions. Trump warned Iran to agree to a nuclear deal before there is nothing left. So we don't know where it's headed. Lord willing, things will kick off. But we know that we must wait for prophecy, man. We got to wait for prophecy to take place. But this is prophecy taking place. We just got a few more, man. Lord willing, we'll be out of here soon. So let's go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 16, and verse 16. It says, behold, I will send for many fishers, said the Lord Yahweh, and they shall fish them. And that's what's going on now. The men of the Lord are out here, on the highways and hedges, bringing his word out, professing the name Yahweh Shem Yahushua, the true name, telling you what's to come, according to prophecy, from Apostle Hall down, man, the great man of GMS, just bringing forth the truth, man, truth as we were instructed, So it says what Netanyahu says. It says Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who is an Israeli officer, says is monitoring the strikes from a bunker. That's why we got Jeremiah 16:16. This devil is hiding out in a bunker, man. And we know, once things really heat up, the rest of the wicked elite, and so-called high-ranking military officials, man, they will be in bunkers. It says, has vowed more is on the way. He previously said Israel's operation against Iran could take several days. So this devil's out for blood, basically. So this book is Jeremiah chapter 16, verse 16. Again, it says, behold, I will send for many fishers, said the Lord Yahweh. You know, the Lord put the spirit upon, men that hit the highways and hedges, man, to bring this truth out, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Says, and they shall fish them, and after I will send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain, from every hill, and out of the holes of the rocks. So, the wicked elite, you won't be able to hide from the really, the true elites, the 144,000 elect men of Israel, So, you will be hunted down, man. The Lord is going to place the spirit upon the men, the 144,000 to go to go set the record straight, so hey, man, spiritual power coming, which is going to be needed, because this devil has so much weaponry, man, beyond belief. And it's only getting stronger. So, hey, but he can't defeat Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. That's the point, man. The Lord has weaponry that this devil can't even fathom, man. So it's coming, man. Lord willing, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, will continue to plague Babylon the Great and the rest of the Edomites, man. So, with that being said, we want to constantly give our praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rakakodash. Shalom.